MiniCine Projector film strips. Walt Disney series The Life of Donald Duck. Script by Jane Thornicroft. When a baby duck begins life by refusing to hatch out properly, you can guess he's in for some odd adventures. Donald Duck certainly was, as you will see. There he sat, his head sticking out of his shell, and the rest of him firmly inside, while his mother scolded and implored. But at last she got really angry. "If you don't break your shell," she said, "I'll go right away." Donald didn't believe her, till he saw her going off over the hill clutching her best umbrella. Then he did make an effort, and broke his shell at last. With a loud quack of joy, he leapt onto the bright green grass, and began wondering what he'd do next. Eventually he set off across the flower-dotted meadow towards the town, and soon he was busy admiring himself in the shop windows there. Then a large fat policeman arrived, and when he saw Donald had no clothes on, his cap flew off his head with surprise. Seizing Donald by the hand, he hurried him along so fast that he couldn't keep up, and soon he was just flying through the air by the policeman's side. Presently they came to a nursery, and in spite of Donald's protests, the policeman handed him in. The first thing that happened to him was a bath in a wooden tub with green soap and a red back brush. Then, dressed in a sailor suit with his books under his arm, he was set off to school. But at the crossroads, dog Pluto met him and begged him to come and play. Donald's good angel urged him to keep along the road to the school, but his bad demon cried, "No, go down to the beach instead." At last Donald put down his books and ran off after Pluto down to the beach, and there the naughty dog leaped into a gaily painted boat by the waterside, crying, "Come on!" So, pushing hard, Donald got the boat afloat properly, and in he leapt too. Seizing the bright blue oars, he began to row. "What fun this is," he said, as the boat bounded over the sparkling waves. But alas, neither of them noticed a huge rock ahead. In a trice the boat was crashing into it. Down, down it sank, flinging the two of them into the water. How lucky it was that Pluto was an excellent swimmer, for weighed down by his clothes, Donald was not, and with thankfulness he felt Pluto seizing him by his pants with his teeth, even when it meant being dragged ashore with his face mostly underwater. There Pluto pegged him out to dry, and laughed like anything when he said he'd had enough of the sea. "But I'm going to find a job," said Donald, and directly he was quite dry he ran off, and hopped onto the back of a lorry. Then, arriving in Chinatown, down he jumped. He bought some Chinese clothes, fixed on a pigtail, and went to work in a Chinese laundry. But ironing shirts all day proved too much like hard work. So he tried being a baker, and with cookbook propped in front of him began making cakes. But the dough stuck to his fingers like glue, so he gave that up too. He went as a typist next, but he thumped the wrong keys so often that he was sacked. Then he tried becoming a carpenter, but he got into such a rage because he couldn't work the saw properly that he lost that job as well. His next effort was in a circus. He tried teaching a seal to play "God Save the King" on a trumpet, only the seal played other tunes instead, so off went Donald to a builder's. However, when he fell off a steel girder as it was being hoisted aloft, that was the end of that. Next he bought a sombrero and a mandolin, and went bicycling away in search of a señorita to serenade. When he found her, he sang many love songs beneath her balcony, but all in vain. And so in the end he decided to become a dancing master. Then round and round he danced with the ladies, beaming all over his face, happy at last to have found a job he really liked. The end.